वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Good afternoon, friends. A very warm welcome to our Business Opportunity Over Chai. In this special edition, Business Opportunity Over Chai will help you to understand the greatest business opportunities that we Franchise India specially brings for you. Business Opportunity Over Chai presented by management team of Franchise India, Mr. Gaurav Maria, Chairman at Franchise India Group, and Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, MD at Franchise India Brands Limited. Every day, 12 o'clock, we launch a new brand to explore new business opportunities. So today we have invited a great iconic brand, Sassafras. Sassafras, a homegrown fashion label, is a brand for young, wild, and stylish people. The brand started its journey in 2015 and aimed to reach fashion forward with and free spirit youth of day. To know more about this business opportunity, we have invited Mr. Ketan ji from the brand side. But before, I would like to invite Ketan ji to explore these opportunities for our friends. I would like to invite Ms. Sonia ma'am on the platform. Over to you, ma'am. So I think Sonia ma'am is joining meanwhile. So I would request Samat if you could just highlight some point about the brand, how we started and how this brand comes from. So we can start with the PPT accordingly.
Yes, hi everybody, and Ketan would be the best also to highlight more on the opportunity which is there. So friends, this is a very good opportunity today with Sassafras, which we are bringing. It's a well-known brand in fashion and is something, the opportunity where the brand wants to come and be available to everybody and be extend their reach to all the clients and the customers so that they get different varieties of options. They can see the products and also get the overall experience that Ketan and the team has set up for everybody. It's a well-known brand all over India, and it's a very good opportunity that we're bringing ahead, and what we'll also see in the presentation and other question answers that we can attend through the presentation and through this webinar today. So over to Mr. Ketan for your overview, the journey and the brand which we have.
Thank you so much, Harshika and Samarth. Harshika, can we have the video, please?
Sure.
Thank you, and very good afternoon to you, Ketanji, and welcome on the webinar. And friends, I also welcome everybody who's joined in. I'll request everyone to also use the Q&A box as we take you through a small presentation on the business offering that we have. And all your questions we'll try to answer after the presentation is over. And we'll also be happy to take any discussions further offline post our webinar today. And just to add on to what Samar talked about the business, I would also request Ketanji to little bit, give a brief introduction about how it started. But I would like to add one thing, that this is a digital first brand and they have been in the business for the last more than 7 years now, right, Ketan? That's more than
That's
7
right, almost 8 years this year.
And they are also one of the leading and a very popular online brand. So I'm sure everybody who's, especially all the women out there who might be shopping online, this is one brand that pops up on the top. And so after making a successful inroads, I would say, on the platform through their own channel and also through the other platforms, they're looking at now coming on physical store format, where they're looking at like-minded people who can partner with them. And this would be an exclusive brand outlet for Sassafras, which we are targeting primarily for North India and certain key markets where the brand has seen a big adoption and maybe regular demand, which has been coming through their online platforms. And now, before getting into too much of details, I'll request Ketan, if you want to give a little brief about, how you started the business, what your journey has been in the last many years of your, I would say, experience or success in the market.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sonia, for the lovely introduction. We are equally excited to be part of this journey. So I am Ketan Jaggi. I am the co-founder at Sassafras. Me, together with my wife, Rimjim, we started this brand in 2015. The idea behind the brand was to launch a fast fashion, affordable brand, which everybody can buy without thinking too much about how much money they are spending. So we are a very, very pocket-friendly and a fast fashion brand. Having said that, we don't compromise on the quality. That's the key that we maintain at our end, where we ensure that the product that we offer is top-notch, great quality fabric, great construction quality, and we ensure that all of the standards have been maintained as per international norms. And we started our brand as an online fashion brand, started with all the marketplaces in 2015 itself. We were present on all marketplaces. Now we are currently present with Myntra, Flipkart. You can find us on Myntra and Flipkart. We are one of the largest women's wear fashion brand in the top 3 ranking for the women's western wear category for the last 4 years. We've also expanded our journey to our own D2C platform. As we all know, D2C has become a very upcoming area of business. A lot of people are now shopping through, through Instagram and through Facebook and direct website of the brands that they follow. So we've moved out. We've not moved out. We've expanded to our D2C business through our website as well. So these are our 3 major channels that we currently operate on, which is Myntra, Flipkart, and our own website D2C. I'll take you through a small presentation about the brand. What we do, what all brands do we do, and what is the opportunity for you all to expand and explore. So predominantly a Western wear brand. Like I mentioned, we are very, very women-centric. We focus heavily on Gen Z, on millennial, on people who are actually looking at fast fashion every day. So we are very, very targeted towards, heavily targeted towards the young women of today. Sassafras, as we heard from Harshika as well, we started in 2015. It's aimed towards the young, wild and stylish generation that we have in today. And very interestingly, a lot of people ask me a question about why Sassafras, why the name Sassafras, what does it mean, and why did we choose? So we came across a very interesting tree, a few years back. It's called Sassafras. It's not very common in India, but it's found very widely in America, in Australia. There's in fact a small town in Australia as well called Sassafras. And it's very interesting in the way its leaves and colors are featured on it. So when we came across this, we found it very interesting, and we wanted to decide our name, our brand, and collection behind the tree. So that's why we picked up the name. We are, of course, very heavy in terms of the major top categories that women wear fashion offer, which is dresses, tops, jeans, skirts, shorts. You name the category we have available. The top categories being dresses, tops, jeans, and trousers for us. These are some of the brands that we operate on. Of course, Sassafras, as like I mentioned, is the major brand that we operate. But we've now diversified into other various segments and other various brands as well over the last 2 years. We have a brand called Share by Sassafras, which is our ethnic and fusion wear brand. Novo is our kids wear brand, which is targeted towards teens and preteens. Masculine is a very recent introduction into our portfolio, which is targeted towards men's. Then very, very recently, just this year itself, we've launched 4 more brands, which are subdivisions of Sassafras, but they are catering to a completely new audience and target. One being Sassafras Curve, which is targeted for plus size women. Then we have another brand called Sassafras Alt Lace, which is alternative loungewear. It's basically loungewear that you can lace around at home or even can wear outside, for a brunch, for a lunch, or just a stroll at the market. Then we've launched very recently a basic wear brand. It's called Sassafras Basics, which offers core wear, staple wardrobe products, which you can always have in your wardrobe at very, very reasonable pricing. Then we are about to launch a new brand called Work Life, which is a completely formal wear brand for women. So like I mentioned, the categories that we do, we cover almost every category possible under the Western wear segment. Dresses, tops, shirts, jeans, jeggings, skirts, quads, even accessories like scarves, stoles. We do handbags, we do jewelry. Moving on to the right side, we are very heavy and popular in winter wear as well. So we do the major categories in winter wear: jackets, sweatshirts, hoodies, sweaters, shrugs, blazers, and of course jumpsuit, trousers, and shorts are all around the year. Second half of the year, we focus a lot on winter wear because that's where the demand lies. And in terms of the markets, we of course design according to the demographics, the cities, and the products that are popular throughout the year in those markets. But of course, North is very heavy for us for winter wear. Some of the images from our recent spring-summer collection in women's wear. We love to play with colors, florals, prints, dreamy silhouettes, very flowy designs. We are also very popular for our streetwear collection. We like to design streetwear in very sharp price points with great designs. That's our denim collection. As we all know, there's a lot of shift towards baggy jeans, cargos. These are the trends that we try to quickly pick on. That's what the USP of the brand is as such, that there's something, whatever is new in the market, we like to introduce that to our customers at a very fast rate. We are able to design and deliver any new product range within 90 days of its conceptualization. So that's a very big bonus for us and a plus point that we are able to talk about the season trends or the global trends within the same season. We are also very big in terms of party wear. We've all seen party wear being a very popular trend in the last 1 year or so. Since the time people have come out of COVID, we are seeing very high demand in terms of party wear. It's not limited to December or November or the festive months anymore, but we see huge demand coming in for party wear, for bingy products all around the year. So this is from our spring-summer collection. We are introducing a bling collection for our customers who love party wear all around the year. Then, of course, we are very popular, like I mentioned, in florals. We do a lot of resort style collections. We do jumpsuits, rompers. We have a lot of shrugs and cover-ups for resort wear for your holiday. This is the right time for people to start shopping for resort and holiday wear, and we see a lot of holiday travel picking up this season, this year now, and it's going to be very big for the rest of the year as well. Then moving on to our ethnic wear brand. This is called Share by Sassafras. This is a transition between a fusion, a Western and an ethnic wear. So we are very fusion oriented. We are very specific to what our design, our sensibilities, our Our product portfolio is not the usual ethnic wear that you will find online or offline. We are very trendy in terms of our ethnic wear range. The top categories for us ethnic wear are ethnic dresses, kurta sets. Cord sets is something which is picking up very well for us recently. Of course, we again play in winter wear when there is autumn-winter season. We play heavily on jackets, sweatshirts, and sweaters and shrugs. Jumpsuit, trousers, and scarves are some of the categories that we operate under this brand. I'll take you through some of the recent images that we've done our cataloging for recently for spring summer. These are again 3-piece quads. We do a lot of trendy styles. Like I mentioned, we are not a very specific or run-of-the-mill ethnic brand. We are very fusion related. We are very, very in the market for the trend, what people are looking at. This is again something from our spring summer collection. And we have given an image to the brand which is more festive, more dressy, but it is also easy to wear. You can carry around during any small gathering, function, or even for lunches. We do day wear dresses, we do ethnic dresses, sets of 3, sets of 2, quads. A lot of party wear, as you can see. There are inspirations being taken from big designers or from international trends, and we try to incorporate that in our designing. Moving on to our kids wear brand. So we are targeting a brand towards the teens and tweens. This is a segment that we found is not being covered by even the top brands in the country. The age group between 10 to 16 is kind of not considered as a very retail heavy brand. So we found a gap in that segment, and we've introduced a brand called Novo, which is targeted, like I mentioned, towards 8 to 16 age group. It's an easy transition from kids becoming adults or becoming 18. So that's the age group they are not able to find something very good to wear, and we are exactly offering that product range to the customers. It's a very, very trendy Gen Z collection, very fast fashion, streetwear, a lot of denims. We do a lot of t-shirts, oversized stuff for kids and for teens. Moving on to our menswear collection. So we've just last year itself, 2022 is when we launched the menswear brand. And we cover all major categories. This is a very small, very new brand. So in terms of volumes and in terms of numbers, this is our 4th ranking. But we have very great opportunity coming for our menswear collection as well. And the major categories, of course, we cover everything, including winter wear. The brand is created, the image of the brand has been created heavily towards Gen Z, gender inclusive, unisex styling, very oversized streetwear collection. That's the brand all about. And we're going to build the brand entirely on this concept of freshness. So these are the 4 major brands. A small slide on our new launches for this year. These are the top 4 brands that we've introduced, top new brands that we've introduced this year, which are targeted towards women's Western wear, but a completely different target audience, which is, like I mentioned, on the left, you can see we are targeting plus size women. Of course, they're not able to find something edgy, something that fits their bodies very easily. So we've introduced that as a very, very important USP to offer fashion clothes for plus size women. We all know that women are able to find easy tops and dresses and bottoms, but they're not able to find great fashion wear for plus size women. So that's exactly what we're trying to solve here. There is every brand that we launch, is the idea behind that brand is to solve a problem for a customer, to find a gap in the market and offer that exact product to them at very, very reasonable pricing. Work life, as we all know, people are now moving back to offices. The trends for fashion, for formal wear has picked up very well, and it is going to grow only as we expand back to the offline, back to the office segment. So that's our take on work life. Very interestingly, the loungewear has also kind of continued as a trend coming out of COVID. We see people wearing very easy, relaxed clothing indoors, and they can also wear that outside. So that's the exact idea behind the brand. Is we're trying to launch an alternative loungewear, which means basically you can carry it anywhere, be it at home or be it at a lunch or a brunch outside. On the top and right side, we have our basic wear brand. These are basically the wardrobe staples that you should always have in your wardrobe. Basic, classic white shirts, classic dresses, little black dress, blue jeans, and in multiple colors. So core wear that you should always have in your brand, and they're easy to pair it on with anything and everything. That's about the brand. Moving on to the Indian retail industry. As we all know, India is targeted and has been picked up by the international market as well as a preferred destination for growing their brands, for the growth that we are expecting in the country to come in. The Indian retail market was valued at 65 lakh crores. And of course, apparel and accessories is the third largest contributors to this market. So we are very gung-ho about retail picking up over the next few years. As we all can see some data here, what is the mix? We see a lot of now move or a shift from unorganized sector in retail over to organized sector in brick and mortar. That's a very great opportunity. Just today, I saw an article in Economic Times, and I put a screenshot at the bottom here, which is highlighting how big the retail industry is going to bounce back with millions of square footage of area being added to the retail industry, with DLF alone adding to 5 million square feet in the next 5 to 6 years. Other malls, Phoenix, big brands, all international brands are investing heavily in retail market offline. And that's a very, very great opportunity for you all to explore new brands, a new market of trendy products to sell over the next few years. Of course, as we all know, the apparel and accessories market is very, very big. We see very large population of younger age group, which is the millennials and the working professionals who have higher disposable incomes are able to spend higher than they did previously. And we are targeting those as a customer. We see a very strong presence now with online and offline channels, both being dominating in their own respective fields. We've seen last couple of years being very, very heavy for online because of the COVID being present. But now coming out of COVID, we see people not only restricting to online, but also expanding heavily to the offline retails areas. And this makes us a very, very great brand to offer that opportunity to the customers, to all our partners along who can find us as a business opportunity. Taking you through the franchisee proposal. So why partner with us? Because we've taken you through what we do and how we do, what are the product ranges that we do. We offer almost every product range available under the apparel segment for all age groups. And we're going to grow this further. The idea is to not limit ourselves to doing what we only do, but we'll also expand to newer areas, newer segments, so that we can grow the business and we can help you grow as well. The kind of partnerships that we have with our partners who are manufacturing for us, they source the best of the products available in the country and outside. We do import from countries like Bangladesh, which are very well known for knits and sweaters and denims. So we pick the best quality products from the best available on markets and offer them to our customers at very great pricings. Of course, we have very great quality standards to maintain our protocols and our standards of delivery. That's one reason that we always bank upon for our customers to come back in terms of quality standards. We are a very women-centric brand, like I mentioned. We are not only limiting ourselves to women, but of course, 80% of our business come from the women segment in Western wear. So that's going to be our focus when we go offline as well. Our main target is going to be women's Western wear brand, and of course, clubbed along with some ethnic and fusion wear. Of course, we are entirely or highly majority of our products are made in India. We do have international presence with our products being sold in Middle East through various partners. Then we have a lot of distributors present in Malaysia, other parts of Southeast Asia, and we get a lot of orders directly on our website from US and from Australia. Like I've already mentioned, we are very successful in our online presence with Myntra and Flipkart. We are the one of the top 3 brands on Myntra and Flipkart in the women's Western wear segment. And in the ethnic wear segment, we are present on the top 10 brands on the platform. Just taking you through the rollout plan on what are the areas that we want to cover. Of course, the major or the key starting areas for us are going to be the metros, the NCR segment, and the tier 1 and tier 2, 3 cities. We'll of course roll this out in phases as per the request and the demand that is coming from all across the regions, and not limiting to just north where we are currently located out of, but of course we want to expand our reach to all other cities. These are the top 10, 12 cities that we currently operate out of in terms of our online sales. Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, of course, being the largest market for us. And there are other cities which are also contributing to great numbers like Hyderabad, Pune, Pune is a very young, growing city. Ghaziabad, Lucknow, Patna, Bhubaneswar, these are the market areas we want to explore heavily from our offline presence. The partners, of course, what the kind of partners that we're looking at to join hands with are great in terms of the opportunity that we bring along. So the partners that we're looking at is, of course, people who have sufficient financial bandwidth and an app location to open the stores with. Young entrepreneurs, corporate employees wanting to have their own businesses. Of course, women entrepreneurs, we see women being the largest, customer for us, and women-centric brands are very, very well known and very picking up well for their aesthetics, for their success in the market. So for them, it's a great opportunity for their passion, and they're willing to have their own businesses to invest in this. We would love to have some prior industry experience, people who have already had franchises in the past or are currently running under franchisees to partner with us. People who have retail knowledge in terms of any segment, it would be fashion or non-fashion, would be ideal partners for us. And of course, individuals which have a local market connect and that are already handling larger areas are very great partners for us. I'll share the franchisee model for the proposal that we have with you. Like Harshika has already briefly mentioned, we are looking at an investment of around 40 lakhs, with the inventory billing be around half of it. The rest of the half will go into investment as infrastructure, as building the team, the rentals. That's the initial investment that we are looking at. The payback time for you would be less than 2 years, is when we are expecting you to break even. But your operational costs will start coming in from 3 months onwards. There will be a franchisee fees, like I mentioned here. The contract period for us will be for 5 years, and is when you can actually expect the return on an investment up to 75%. Then we would also be willing to offer omni-channel fulfillment in the due course, where, of course, alongside the margins that you make through your store, you could also make margins by pushing the sales to our website. If the customer is looking for something different, you could move them on to our website or have the product delivered at your store for the customer to conveniently come and pick up from the store, and you would in turn earn commission or a margin in that sales as well. The areas that we're looking at is, of course, the high street markets, malls, is our primary area, where we see a lot of traffic, a lot of people, footfall already coming in. That's an ideal place for us to start off with a minimum of 1,000 square feet of a store space. Here are some of the roles and responsibilities of each of us. What is the franchisee expected to do, and how will the brand help in terms of building the whole proposition? So, of course, for a franchisee, the operations or the daily day-to-day running would be the key area, adhering to all the SOPs and the guidelines that we're going to give you. Of course, as we all know, sales is the key here. So we need to keep the people motivated. We need to keep ourselves motivated. And you have to ensure that we maintain all standards of hygiene and cleanliness. Ensure implementation of local market activations. Since you're opening a store which is more familiar with you, you would know what and how to do some kind of marketing activities. So in your business model, you would know exactly how much you're going to make money and how much you're going to spend on each of the activities. Then, of course, you have to maintain regular accounts and records. Inventory management is going to be under your radar. Training mandatory for each of the franchisee before starting up the operation, and it's an ongoing training model. Then, of course, a good customer relationship is when customer come back to you to buy more. So we have to ensure that we treat them with utmost decency and respect. As a brand, we will obviously offer you help with the selection in your location, permission, licenses, whatever you may need from the brand Z. We will be able to help you out. We'll give you a dedicated partner for your fit outs so that the design sensibilities across all stores are similar. We will provide you training before the operations and before the beginning of the store and help you with your staff selection. We'll conduct marketing programs at national level through various different platforms. We're already currently investing heavily into marketing in the platforms that we currently operate out of. We do marketing through Myntra, through Flipkart, through Meta, and through shows. We do. We've done a lot of road shows and fashion shows. We did the Times of India fashion show last season. So those are the marketing areas that we're going to provide. Then, of course, the product is going to be regular supply. We'll always ensure that we offer you freshness, if not every month, but at least every 2 months. That's where our focus areas is. That's where our USP is. We introduce freshness every month on our platform, and that's what we want to pass it on to our stores as well. Then, of course, we'll conduct periodic audits and provide feedbacks to you for improvement and enhancing your performance. And of course, there's R&D on the service offerings. Some of the key support functions that we would like to offer, these are bifurcated into 2, pre-opening and post-open. Of course, there are the support and the help that you need will always be available at any time from us and the franchisee in their team, who will help you, guide you in terms of running and operating the business. So from pre-opening, of course, store development, site selection, unit development, marketing and promotion activities, like we mentioned. There'll be training, there'll be operation support in terms of the manuals, the software, accounting softwares, the virtual CRMs. Post-opening, we would definitely help you with the product selection. What are the areas that you are currently operating in, and what is the demand in the market? For every state, for every location, there is a certain kind of customer which is different than the other. So we would like to target that kind of product range for your store, and we would be in touch with you regular basis to know what works in your market and what doesn't. Then, of course, there are consistent margins for you to always, bank upon, where you have enough margin to make money and also take out your expenses. Have a little margin to offer additional discounts to your customers so that you can, at your free will, are able to offer additional discounts or promotions at certain times when the season is low, or maybe even at the end of season when you would want to clear off your stock. So there is a 5% built-in Then, of course, there are design, billing, and quotation support we can always help you with. Marketing, like I mentioned, we partner with a lot of influencers. We've done celebrity influencers. We've done ramp shows. We have a lot of social media presence, which we are already growing in a very, very large number, which is always be constantly going on to build the omnipresence of the brand. That's it from me. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to ask the questions. I would be happy to take up all questions related to the brand, anything related to the model. Samarth is always on the call, and he can help you out with any of the queries.
Great. Thank you so much, Ketanji, for this presentation. And friends, I'll quickly recap the opportunity that we have presented. At the same time, I feel we need to put maybe the next 15 odd minutes in basically understand the unit economics of the entire business model, which I would like to take, like Ketanji, including our breakup of the investment that we've talked about, and also typical, operating expenses one would entail as they start operating the business. So, friends, this is Sassafras is a leading manufacturer, and they also have design capabilities, which also means that because being an integrated operator, they have better margins to be offered than many other wholesalers or other people who come in the business. And comparatively, when you look at their margins, which are higher than the industry norm, and maybe higher even compared to the other retailers or fashion retailers which are offered in the market, they already enjoy a very good, I would say, brand equity in the market because they have been in the market through their online presence for the last more than 5 years now. A lot of data intelligence which sits with them of what categories sell in what ratio, and equally what regions they have the highest demand coming from. And only based on that, the entire rollout of the opportunity, including even the offering in terms of the selection of the inventory at the outlet, has been created. They're looking at almost 800 to 1,000 square feet would be a carpet area that is required to put up the entire retail format. And that entails an investment of about 40 odd lakhs. And if we split that investment broadly, 20 lakhs of that, which is almost 50% of that, goes towards your inventory, which I would also say is a working capital, while that has been taken as initial investment to be done. So 20 lakhs is the inventory, which is the working capital that we need to have. And with an inventory of 20 lakhs, your typical stock value, which would sit in the outlet, would be close to about 38 to 40 odd lakhs. I think that's the calculation that we were doing. So it would be somewhere around 38, 40 lakhs is the inventory that would sit in the outlet. And another 20 lakhs has been, put towards your basic capex that includes your interiors, that also includes a franchise component of 3 odd lakhs, your POS and other miscellaneous expenses, all put together becomes another 20 lakhs that needs to be put. So, Ketanji, my first question, which I wanted to, in fact, if we can talk, and Samarth, if we have maybe an Excel sheet that we want to present to our investors, would be, how this 20 lakhs look like. And I saw a component of franchise fees of 3 lakhs. Is that something that is already calculated in the total investment of 40 lakhs? Or this comes over and above the 40 lakh investment that we have put in the financials?
Sure. So the 40 lakhs, that the total investment that we have, you rightfully mentioned, 20 lakh rupees is something that we're looking at an inventory point of view. The franchise fee of 3 lakh rupees has been included in the overall investment. So when we talk about the breakup for the other part of the fit outs and everything, so as we are looking at the expenses would be more of your civil work, your flooring, ceiling, and the setup cost, which would be there with the air conditioner and the furniture and the setup and the racks, which would be there traditionally. Plus, you'll also be looking at the signage and setup, which is typically comes up to about 15 lakh rupees that we are looking around, 15 to 17 lakh, depending on the location. There are other licenses, the POS systems, the CCTVs, and miscellaneous expenses, which is about another 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees. So as an overall investment with the permissions and the licenses, we are looking at a setup about 1.15 to 17 lakh rupees as a total setup cost, plus 20 lakh rupees of your stock and your launch and other expenses which are needed for you to get the permissions overall. And 3 lakh rupees is your franchise fee. So 17 plus 3, 20, and we are also looking at 20 lakh rupees of a stock initial stock that we are inventory that we are keeping in the stores.
Friends, I see a lot of hands that are raised from time to time. Well, I'll request you to please put your questions in the Q&A box. We'll be happy to read your questions. If you can also mention the city of your interest, anybody who owns any location or a property that you think can be relevant for this business, we're even happy to take that up. My second question would be to a little bit now understand how typical the day-to-day operations run. And we talk about unit economics. Friends, I'll give maybe a broader understanding. In a fashion retail business, typically your stock turn is almost about 4 times in a year, which means after every 3 months, typically the entire stock which is at the outlet should be able to turn around. And also the company would be supporting in terms of any promotions and discounts. So typically about 60 days is what ideally any retail business would take and to track the aging of their product. First and foremost, the entire offering or selection of the stock also, which is given at any particular outlet, is based on the intelligence which is already there sitting in the system of what kind of categories are moving faster. And based on that, their destination product, their specialty product, their even seasonal products, I saw some winter wear also, would be given to an outlet. But for reasons, we don't see a movement and tracking for 60 odd days, then there is a promotional discount which the company would offer, which is followed by a end of season sale discount, which would also be supported by the company. We have different structure in terms of what support the company would give, and a percentage that would also be, contributed by the franchise partner. So if I talk about a 4 stock, turn in 1 year, typically looking at a stock value of about 40 lakhs and rotating that about 4 times in a year, this would be somewhere around 1.6. I think that's the number we get. There's a 30 lakh of stock. So 30 lakh stock, which would rotate 4 times, would be approximately 1.2 odd crores of an annual sale. So which translates to almost about 10 lakhs is the annual monthly sale one can expect from a single outlet. Now on the expense side, broadly, one is cost of your product. Second is your cost, operating cost, which includes your rental. And then we have manpower cost. So these electricity. So these are, 4 broad expenses under which the entire operating expenses are actually put. So I'll request Samarth if we have a breakup of that and we can share that with our friends. That will give some understanding of typically, what bottom line one would sit at. And friends, I'll take up your questions. If you have questions on that, we'll take it up. Samarth, you want to put that on the screen or maybe talk about it?
Sure, I'll talk about it. So overall, very good margin structures that the brand is also providing everybody. So rightfully mentioned, as we are looking at about 1.2 to 1.5 CR on an average as a sale and the rotation that we are also seeing with the typical margin about 40% that we are also offering, which is the benefit that the brand is also providing to the partners, which is higher, as Sonia just mentioned earlier, that the margin and the benefits that the brand and the support is something that we're providing. Most of the expenses, what we see overall gross and profits that we see over a period of time, over 5 years, about 80 to 1 CR easily that we are getting. Most of the rentals, typically the location that we're looking for are good prominent markets and the other spaces which are there. So about 30 odd lakh rupees over a year that we can look into as a rental point of view, and also the electricity. So overall capex, as we see, is about 30% of the overall cost, which gives us a very healthy overall margins of about 13 to 15% of the profit or the EBITDA that we can easily get throughout it. What we also see as overall costing and the ROI for our partners overall would end up getting cumulative about 3.5 to 4x of their investment into the brand, which is a healthy investment and a time period, as we had seen earlier as well, about within 22 to 24 months, the typical payback period is something which is expected. So the majority of the day-to-day expenses for our partners would be the staff salaries, the rentals every month, and the electricity, which would be going over there. Rest is typically your utilities and other software charges that we have to pay at the minimum amount overall. What we also expect, as a central level, the brand would be helping our all the partners with the marketing activities, the promotion activities to get that brand pull towards you, so that the sales and the overall performance of our partners also increases. And there are certain local marketing activities that we encourage our partners to also maintain. There would be also a nominal amount that would be needed for that as well.
I have a question for you, based on your own experience of, the categories, the fastest, I would say, moving categories, what would be the ideal mix of categories that you suggest? And, if you want to give little understanding on that, would be very, very helpful.
Sure, Sonia. So in terms of the cataloging part, the highest number of contributor in terms of the article mix, the dresses and tops takes away the major kitty. But in terms of sales, we've seen jeans and trouser performing at a better return. Even with a smaller collection, we're able to do a 20%, 25% of sales. So we see a great opportunity in bottom wear as well. These are the main force areas that we are focusing on for our online bid. And that's the same what we would pass on to the offline stores as well. And of course, when it comes to winter, we see jackets and sweatshirts being the topmost category. We would be heavily focusing on winter wear as well for the areas and the markets which are winter heavy.
And I'll also request, Ketan, if you want to maybe mention your top priority cities that we are considering for maybe the immediate, maybe the next 6 months time frame.
Yeah, sure. Like I displayed on the presentation as well, the top 3 cities for us is of course Bangalore, Delhi-NCR, Mumbai, and then followed by 7 other cities that we've currently presented. For us, that's the data that we've collated from our online sales. We are very heavy in Bangalore, Maharashtra. UP is a very big state for us, Haryana and NCR. These are the major states that we currently operate out of. And the opportunity is immediately available for them because we know a lot of people are already aware of the brand, which buy constantly from these areas, and which are very easy opportunities, like low-hanging fruits for us to be able to start off with.
Would you also want to highlight, typical manpower which is required at the outlet? How many number of people are we actually looking at in a 1,000 square feet format? Get neither you or Samarth, if you want to take it up.
As per my understanding or my knowledge, one would of course be the store manager, which we normally recommend the franchisee partner to come and sit, because it puts a lot of onus in the business. Yes. You take a lot of responsibility in running the show and driving sales, of course. Then, of course, you will need a salesperson, at least one, and a one cleaner. That's something to start off with in the beginning, is what my understanding is. And of course, if it's a larger style store, you will need at least 2 salespeople to manage the show.
Absolutely. So I think if you look at the overall sales, typically your rental, what I understand, would become almost about 20% of the overall sales. And our manpower would be anything between 12% right? But 12% becomes on an average our manpower.
That's roughly right. Correct.
So Manish, you have any questions that you want to take up or answer? And friends, we'll also leave our email ID, our hotline number in the chat box. So if there's anything that you want to ask us, we'll be more than happy to take that offline with you. And also we'll request and maybe suggest anybody who wants to maybe visit the office, we are more than happy to extend and facilitate that for every single investor who wants to get into one-to-one discussion. So before we close, Manish, any last words? Amit, aap kuch bolna chahte hain? Anything that you want to ask? And then I'll pass on to Ketan.
So yeah, ma'am, just one thing to add, location is very much important factor in any retailing. So we should see the proper zoning, if at all it is mall, or maybe if it is high street, so we have to see ki all the women-centric brands are there. So we can make it a good sale there. This is what I want to add.
That's absolutely right. And extending to that as well, of course, passion is something that drives us, all of us together. That's something that we're looking at as very, very important factor for you to run this as your own business, to be able to explore new business opportunities and not just stick to one store. If it's working for you, I'd say go for more, because passion drives work drives, life. So of course we have to, wholeheartedly participate in this business running, and we are looking at a great opportunity here. We are welcoming every one of you to please come visit us in case you have any direct questions. We can do a one-on-one session virtually in case you're not in Delhi, or if you're in Delhi-NCR, of course, we'll be happy to take up personal questions on one-on-one chat.
Great. Thank you so much, Ketan. And friends, I'll request you to reach out to us. We'll shortly share all details in the chat box. And before I close, I'll request Harshika to kindly take over. Friends, we keep seeing, hands which are raised time to time. आप please जो भी आप बोलना चाहते हैं, लिखना चाहते हैं, आप chat box में आप लिखिए. We'll take these questions. And we are putting a number which is a hotline number 9717683838. Anybody who wants to reach out can write to us also on feedback@franchiseindia.in or call us on 9717683838. You can also WhatsApp on this number or email. And Harshika, over to you for your closing remarks, please. Sure, Vinodji, I'm acknowledging your remark. You want us to share the details. We have acknowledged and received the coordinates. We'll be sending across the information and also connect with you post-webinar.
Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am. Thank you so much, Ketan ji, Samarth, and Manish sir, Amit, for this wonderful presentation about the brand called Sassafras. Friends, for more details about the brand or to know more about the information about the brand called Sassafras, you can reach us on our hotline number 9717683838. You can also write us on feedback@franchiseindia.in. Don't forget, we are doing our Bharat Franchise Show evening series during this Navratri special. So today we are bringing the brands in from Auto EVs brands. Brands like Atias, POC, Ahoy Bikes, two-wheeler, Charge City will be there to present themselves. Registration details shared over chat box. You can do your registration directly taking the links, or you can also write us, call us on our hotline number. Thank you everyone for joining the webinar.